The Toronto Raptors had a very busy opening week in the league, playing 3 games in 5 days, all against really good opponents. Plus, the team has been hammered hard by the injury bug, missing 5 of its top 10 rotation players, Bruce Brown, Jacoby Walter, Kelly Olynyk, RJ Barrett, and Emmanuel Quickley all being out. While RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley do seem close to returning to action, the team hasn't just let this be a negative. They've taken advantages of all their absences by using those minutes to develop the plethora of rookies on the roster. So, after the first 3 games in the first week in the league, let's check how the Raptors rookies are performing. Starting us off is a second round steal, Jamal Shead. With Quickley leaving with an injury in the first half of Game 1 against the Cavs, the team has had to rely much more on their late second round pick, Jamal Shead. Shead has been tasked with being the lead guard off the bench, running that unit alongside Scottie Barnes or who else is on the court with him. And through 3 games, I would say he's done an excellent job. What stands out the most about Shead is how good he is defensively already. While being just a 6'1" point guard, he's locked down on that end, and it really showed up in the game against the 76ers, where Shead held Tyrese Maxey to just 4 points on 2 for 5 shooting and 0 for 2 shooting from deep when they were matched up. Switching it ends to his offensive size, because we all know what Shead can do defensively, he's been much better than expected. The thing that stands out the most is his playmaking/passing, which has been his best offensive skill by far. He's also leading all rookies in assists through 3 games. Shead does a pretty good job of finding his roll man out of the pick and roll, both with bounce passes or over the top throws. He does need to clean up his turnovers, averaging 3.3, but that will come with time and reps with the squad. Also, through 3 games, Shead has shot the ball pretty well from deep, connecting on 37.5 of his threes, while taking about 2.7 per game. Of course, those 3 games doesn't show he's a good shooter, but after shooting a horrible 15% in the preseason, it's a good sign. Offensively too, Shead just understands that if he's not taking an open 3, he needs to get all the way to the rim and make something happen there. He's been pretty good at the free throw line, pretty decent around finishing around the rim, and I'm very excited to see what else he can do as the season grows. The next rookie I want to talk about has definitely been one of the brightest, if not the brightest spot for the Raptors to start this season, and that is the 2-way contract standout Jamison Battle. After going undrafted, Battle was signed to the Raptors Summer League roster. From there, with his impressive shooting ability and hard work in training camp, Battle earned himself a 2-way contract for this season, beating out some guys we remember from last year like James Rasmussen, as well as Brendan Carlson. Through 3 games, Battle has shown why he made the final cut for the Raptors roster. He provides much needed 3-point shooting for Toronto. Right now he's shooting 45.5% from deep while taking almost 4 attempts per game. He's also been pretty active on the glass, helping close out Toronto's defensive possessions. For a guy on a 2-way contract, he looks like an absolute steal, and I think he will continue to see playing time as the team waits to get fully healthy, and probably could crack the rotation once the roster is fully healthy due to his size and shooting ability. Rounding out the trio of really positive and surprising rookies is Jonathan Mobo, who's a very intriguing player, being only 6'7" without any type of jump shot. You don't really see that role or that build anymore in the league. However, even with this hole in his game, Mobo has been able to stuff the stat sheet through 3 games. Defensively is where he's making the most significant impact, being able to switch 1 through 4 and onto the occasional bench 5. He has exceptionally active hands on the ball, in the passing lane, and when it comes to contesting shots. Through 3 games, Mobo is averaging 1.7 steals and 1 block. But what really stands out is his foot speed. It's extremely impressive, being able to stay step to step with guys like Anthony Edwards, forcing those tough shots from them. Mobo has a ways to go as a scorer, once again lacking any sort of jump shot or go-to move offensively. I think adding a floater to his game would be very helpful, or just something that he can go to no matter who's in front of him. He has struggled to finish from anywhere on the court, shooting 40% from the field. However, some positives is he's been lights out from the free throw line, which does bode well for his future as a jump shooter. His best offensive skill is his playmaking, which he uses very well, being able to find cutters in the half court or in transition. He's also been very active on the offensive glass, getting 2 offensive rebounds per game, which is impressive for somebody of his size. The Raptors do have 2 more rookies on their roster, being Ochai Chomche, I think that's how you say his name, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, and Jacoby Walter. With Chomche being the 57th pick in the draft and only 18 years old, he was never going to see that much run in his rookie season, and that's been the case so far through 5 games, just playing 5 minutes. And there isn't really much to say. He's going to spend most of his rookie season with the 905 Raptors in the G League, working on and developing his game for the next season in the NBA. However, what has stood out from his short stint in the league, as well as preseason and just everything that we've seen from him, is how mobile and agile he is for a guy his size. He's so quick and graceful moving across the court, and being 6'10", being able to move like that really bodes well for his development as a player. He also has pretty decent passing chops for a guy who's still relatively new to basketball. Of course, the last rookie that we have to talk about is Jacoby Walter, who injured his shoulder in training camp and has not appeared in preseason or any of the first 3 games in the regular season. It was announced today that Walter is going to be sent down to the 905 Raptors to kind of get ready for game shape. The 905 Raptors do not play till November 9th, so it seems like he's still a while away from coming back to the league, or at least back to the roster, but I'm interested to see how he performs against other G League competition.